Here,
Anyway,
Bill Burr's at it again.
looking forward to doing my first road gig,
Bill, you
seeing
don't
what
have to
that
live
comedy
like this no
festival
more.
did. I don't know if you guys heard about that. I did a comedy festival that people had a lot of opinions on.
Accountability, skip scene.
Alright, so Bill Burr is still coping over the Riyadh Comedy Festival controversy. This man is going through it. It sounds like he's on the verge of having a breakdown, and it's been almost 4 months since he did the festival, but he just keeps wanting to respond to the backlash, which only makes things worse. You know, I'd say the way he's handled all the backlash is probably more offensive to his fans than the actual controversy, because so far in response, he's just insulted his fans.
It's like he's working against us.
For criticizing him. Then he seriously acted like he should be commended for performing in Saudi Arabia, like he's doing philanthropic work over there by getting paid $1.5 million from the royal family to do a stand-up set. Also, he had the audacity to call people that were criticizing him sanctimonious.
Bill the
Which is
philanthropist.
unbelievably ironic coming from
Pardon me.
Burr. Like, he says people are being sanctimonious, then right after acts like he's doing a great service by going over to Saudi Arabia. And, I mean, he's got to be one of the most self-righteous comedians, which is the reason he's gotten so much criticism, because he spent the past few years going on serious rants about all these social issues, like wealth inequality, the ruling class, healthcare, and immigration.
Bill has
which
tiny
people applauded
eyes.
him for, but if you're going to make that your thing and go for applause over laughs, I don't know how you can then accuse everyone else of being too sanctimonious for being disappointed in you. You know, of course, once he does something controversial and people are upset about it, then it's like, they don't actually care about this stuff. They're all just trying to virtue signal. But everything from Burr just seems like projection now, you know, because obviously a lot of his fans feel that way about him. Like, when he's talking about these issues, now it just seems performative. Like, him doing that festival shattered a lot of people's perception of him. And instead of him being like, I'm sorry I let you guys down, but the money was just too good, he decides to go off on his fans for daring to call him out because, you know, Bill is so morally superior, he's above criticism. Like, people should be fine with him taking money from an authoritarian regime that uses criticism.
Chat, I really do appreciate people who are willing to call someone out, especially when that person is already goated in our eyes. And I love Bill Burr, chat, I do. His comedy is the average, everyday guy's comedy. Like, he gets it. He's taking a stand when a lot of people went the other way or went with the flow. So am I surprised that he's finally being called out on something and everybody seems to agree and he's going the other way? I'm not surprised. I do understand it's coming from ego and pride and a refusal to be wrong. Speaking of refusal, you remember in high school when you used to get kicked out and written up? They had like these key words they would use that meant nothing. Like they would, every 15, I had 15, one time I had 15 write-ups in like a week and a half. And each one of them said the same thing. Refusal, refusal, refusal to comply, refusal to it didn't matter because these key words, when I went down to the VP and they would ask me, what, you were written up for this, what happened? It didn't matter because automatically it was 3 day suspension for certain words. Like, oh, refusal, oh, disciplinary action, oh, you disrespected. That was a good one they used. Oh, disruptive. That's what it was. Disruptive. I'm like, what? I had one teacher say, disrupting other students. I said, you should ask them what happened. They were like, no, they told me already. You were staring him down. that I was like this, just following him, staring him down in the class. That's what he wrote down, chat. And that got me up out of there. From now on, every time I went to that class, I had to sit in the hallway. I had to do my homework in the hallway. And that ended up being a benefit to me. People that were leaving the class, like girls that just left that class, you know, they're going to go in the hallway eventually using the bathroom. And they see, oh, I know, I'll help you out. Banging out answers. Most of my friends were the people who roamed the hallways. So now I'm just seeing people walking by. I'm having conversations. And if I got too loud, he'd come out and check on me. You, keep going. Before I write you up for being disruptive. Anyways, chat. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I get that this is a refusal. This is the whole point. Not the whole point. This is the reason why I went in a Yapaholics Anonymous tour. But yeah, it's a refusal to be wrong, and I get it. But I really got a question for y'all, chat. What do you want Bill Burr to do with that comment? Like, I get it. You're so outraged. You bought the posters. You know, you have the tickets and you framed them, the Bill Burr tickets when he came on tour. I get it. You're a true fan. And you would love nothing more than to look him in his eyes and go, I was your guy. You were my guy and I was one of your guys. And I'm done supporting you. I get it. You're outraged. You're outraged. But what do you think is going to happen when he sees that comment 10 days ago? Lost all respect for you. You might as well have put his name in there. You talk to him like you know him. You might as well put Bill in there. Lost all respect for you, Bill. But what do you want him to do with that? That's a genuine question I would have for people who leave comments like this. I no longer respect Bill Burr. I didn't yesterday, and I still don't today. That's funny. He's honest. He's like, I didn't like him yesterday anyways, but I definitely don't today. But see, a comment like that, if I'm Bill Burr, if I'm anybody, if I'm me, I can appreciate a comment like that. Is it knocking me? Yeah. Is it kind of funny? Yeah. But most importantly, he's not talking to me. He's talking to other people in the comment section. Hey guys, gather up. Circle. I no longer respect Bill Burr today. I didn't yesterday and I still don't today. Bill Burr on 3. Like, he's talking to other people. But this guy lost all respect for you. You think Bill Burr is going to see this and do what with it? Like, okay, it sucks. But, genuine question.
Call him out because, Bill's so morally superior. He's above criticism. Like, people should be fine with him taking money from an authoritarian regime that uses slave labor because he's willing to call out how evil billionaires are in America. And he still rants about this stuff on his podcast. He has no self-awareness. Like a few weeks ago, right at the beginning of the podcast, he started talking about how heartless CEOs are for making people work during the holidays. And then he also turned into something about immigration. And the top comment says, I'm here for the disingenuous blue-collar cosplay. And of course, these podcasts get like
That's good.
4 times the amount of dislikes than likes. And most of the comments are still negative, and he's lost like half his audience.
Holy shit, it's the last goddamn Monday of the year. And I would say the best Monday of the year. The Monday between Christmas and New Year's. Because most likely you have it off. Well, at least you did back in the day. Not these fucking heartless bastards now. They send you right back to work.
Beady eyes. Bill has beady. Bill beady eyes Burr. Yeah, I dropped the ball on that one.
They fucking make money off of that too. They don't give you any benefits. And we all know who the problem is. The fucking immigrants. If we could just get these fucking immigrants in a van and stuck in a jail with alligators around them, then all of a sudden these billionaires, they'll start loosening up the purse strings and they'll start trickling down again.
So these rants just don't hit like they used to for people. And Bill acts like it's all just trolls, haters, and bots that care about the controversy, but he's losing actual fans over that.
No, that's the new thing. Have y'all not picked up on that? There's a bunch of people who keep coming on their platforms and saying, anybody who disagrees with me is a troll. It's the same way for the last 20 years people have been saying, anybody who disagrees with me is a hater.
And how he responded to it. People were walking out of his appearance on Conan O'Brien's podcast because of how out of touch he sounded. Like, he kept talking about how amazing Saudi Arabia is and the culture there and the people. Then would make fun of the people criticizing him for just being dumb, racist Americans. So now that he's a Saudi shill, it just seems like he's a parody of himself. I mean, he cannot read a room, and he's basically becoming a lolcow at this point.
With those beady
every
eyes?
time he addresses the controversy, people can't believe how out of touch he sounds, which is a complete 180 from how people thought of him earlier last year.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to lose fans, because anyone could tell you this is not the way to handle things. But I just don't think he can help himself. He always thinks he's in the right. And in his mind, taking money from the Saudi royal family was a progressive thing. And his fans that are upset about it are just misinformed. And one day he's going to set the record straight. He said he's going to wait for things to die down, then do a full podcast addressing it. So I guess he's waiting till nobody's listening anymore to address it, probably because he knows it will just cause more backlash. I mean, it's like he wants to talk about it and respond to people.
He does want to talk about it.
Like, he randomly brings it up during this podcast and keeps doing this manic laugh. But you can tell he's trying to hold himself back because he knows talking about it more will only make things worse.
Since that comedy festival I did, I don't know if you guys heard about that. I did a comedy festival that people had a lot of opinions on.
It's like psycho behavior.
Jesus Christ. Someday.
Don't get me started.
I am going to do, when enough time's gone by, when people clearly don't give a fuck, I am going to do on this podcast a nice deep dive into the absolute absurdity of that whole fucking thing. Anyway, let's do. I mean, here we are, all these months later. You know, I got to be honest with you. The outrage is still where it was. People are still so concerned.
Yeah.
So it's just getting sad. I mean, it's surreal to see what's going on with him. You know, he acts like, man, this is all just fake outrage and moral grandstanding. But I guess he completely forgot that he used to complain about celebrities taking blood money from dictators in the Middle East. So it's crazy he's all surprised that people are upset when he does it, and he thinks they're being sanctimonious. You know, like, he's claiming they don't actually care, but what he's proving is he didn't actually care, and he's gaslighting people into thinking now that he's doing it, it's not a big deal. So he just looks like such a hypocrite here, which if he just admitted it and moved on, I think people would have been more understanding, but instead he's trying to gaslight people into thinking they're crazy for caring this much.
Beyonce and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for $1 million. Did New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make, you know? You're gonna take a gig where you're gonna go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids? Then you take that fucking blood money and what he's done. Yeah, you couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, so I wonder why his fans would be disappointed in him taking money.
Hey, you want to know the crazy part? The most ironic part of it all, for me, is I wouldn't be surprised, chat, if those people he was calling out on that very, very old episode, I wouldn't be surprised if they honestly did not know that man came out and claimed something that crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, chat, if they had no idea that guy came out and said, oh yeah, I had something to do with one of the, you know, disgusting, you know, worst war crimes. You know, if he, who would know? Who would have known that guy came out? Where did he even come out and say that at? Who was he on Facebook? Like, where did he even come out and did he make a video and put it on one of these websites that most of us don't go on a regular basis to, those kind of websites? So I wouldn't be surprised if these celebs who, you know, I'm not trying to say they're busy, that they wouldn't know about that, but they are busy enough to not know about something that it's a big deal, but it can easily slip up under the cracks and you won't even know. I never knew that. I never knew that till he said it. Till he said, oh, that guy claimed he had something to do with it. I never knew that. So I wouldn't be surprised, Chad, if they just didn't know. Because it's about what you do after. It's about your patterns. It's about paying attention to someone's pattern. Did they do it before? Did they ever go and deal with somebody like that before? No. Did they do it after? No. And they gave some of the money back.
Saudis.
Supposedly.
No self-awareness, and it's insulting to his fans to snap at them for thinking he's a hypocrite when there's no question he is. But he just can't admit it, probably because he wants to keep getting those Saudi checks. He'll never say anything bad about them. And instead, he'll just go off on his fans like they're the ones that are out of line. But I think after the backlash and his initial crash out, he's been trying to control himself more. Like he said, it's been over a month since he's flipped out. So I'm sure he's been trying to stay away from reading comments or
Flipped
anything
out.
about the controversy, even though it's still on his mind because he brought it up during this podcast.
Well, on Conan?
Also, in the beginning of this episode, it sounds like he's about to lose his temper, thinking about how racist people are.
Pardon me.
And he keeps doing that laugh to try to stay calm.
Let's hope it's gonna be a good year. Hi, everybody.
That's the stay calm laugh?
Hope. Let's hope. Well, Jesus Christ. Let's hope they shut down the fuck. Why don't they just shut the internet off? Oh my God. What if racist people couldn't just keep talking to each other on the fucking internet? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Oh my God. It's fucking unbelievable. Anyway, with that positive note, hopefully this will be a good fucking year. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what happens? All you can do is
Well,
just fucking try to be a good person yourself.
that's it.
I'm still in a good mood. I am fucking a month and 3 days. I have not lost my temper. I've gotten upset. I've been flustered, but I've stayed out of anger, which has been amazing for me, and kind of blocked out like Mondays for me. Mondays is my mental health day. I go to therapy. I do my yoga. You know, I've been like meditating. Meditating is frustrating for me because I used to be able to do it.
So even meditating is frustrating for him. Then also he starts to lose his temper during an ad read. It seemed like half this episode was ad reads. He did so many of them. And during one of them, he makes a joke. And then he starts getting all worked up about how they're going to make him redo the ad. And he's like, man, somebody in their cubicle who's trying to justify their job will make me redo this shit for no reason. So after him sympathizing with all these working class
Justify
people,
their
they
job.
don't have to work too much, he starts going off about how
Bill,
some
it's their
are
job.
useless and they're just there to annoy
What the heck do you want him to do? Or her to do?
Jesus Christ, that was the tantric read of fucking advertising. Okay, who's next? But I didn't realize I had that disclaimer to read. Well, we'll see what they say.
You know, is there any way we could get a redo? Is there any way you could read that again?
Is there any way you could just say you're saying this so you can justify your fucking cubicle or your desk? Is there any way you can just do that? Do you really think because I made the tantric sex fucking joke that someone's not gonna use, will or won't use?
Yeah.
the
That
fucking
one joke
lust fucking thing?
made them say, you know what? I'm not buying this product.
Shit. Like he seems to want to talk more about that Riyadh festival, which will be a disaster. I mean, that'll just set him off. But let me know what you guys think about it, and make sure you check out my Patreon. Recently, I've been covering how Tim Dillon's turned on Trump, and he keeps roasting Erica Kirk, which is upsetting.
That checks out.
I'm all pissed about it. Also, Theo Vaughn recently accidentally exposed Tucker Carlson when he had him on. And I'm about to post a brand new video on there about how Joe Rogan's friend Kurt Metzger accidentally exposed him for being a Luciferian. So if you enjoyed the channel, make sure you check it out. It's definitely worth it. There'll be a link in the description.
No, your content is definitely worth it. If there's one thing I'll give you, because, you know, I got to be careful with your page and other people's page. Nothing against you. Nothing to bring, you know, any food, to take any food off your table. I hope y'all flourish and your pages do good because you're still putting the work in. Ironically enough, your name is Too Lazy to Try. But if there's one thing I'll say about your channel, that's such a fire name. I wish I'd have thought something like that and made that like my Snapchat or something. Just something that I don't use on a regular, but I might use it on a regular moving forward as I grow a community. Or maybe my Discord, Too Lazy to Try. I don't like nothing about, you know, identifying as lazy. I just really like that name. But yeah, your channel, I gotta be careful because I tread lightly with some of y'all. Because some of y'all, and again, this really ain't actually at you because I have no problem saying what I think about your platform. But some of these kind of platforms, they just like to hear themselves talk. Like they just talk and they'll pick apart little things in a podcast. Like, bro, Bill Burr woke up in the morning, you know, as a comedy or any comedian. They woke up, they had maybe semi-good morning, maybe got good breakfast in them, maybe discussed the conversation with their wife or spouse, maybe had bad traffic, maybe the traffic was mid on the way there, wasn't too bad, wasn't the worst, and maybe got to where they were going and just wanted to get back home and do whatever. Like, y'all take podcasts and make it seem like it's a television, a script, or a stream, and make it seem like we were given a script. It's not always going to be the best. It's hopefully not ever going to be the worst content we put out, but it's not always going to be the best. Sometimes you have a regular day, a midday, and a mid conversation, and a mid episode, and y'all will take it and just start dissecting it and making this person sound like they're like the worst person to ever step on a platform and tell a couple bad jokes on a mid conversation in midday. You see that I mean, it was right there. I had to grab that. Midday, mid conversation. I never heard no one use that mid like that in a bar. Anyways, yeah, that's why I tread lightly with some of y'all channels. Because some of your channels is just like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, we're basically, it's like some of these channels have taken the little bit of hate comment section. You know that comments part of the comment section where like 15 different people are having a 100 comments in the comment section of going back and forth and just sharing each other's hate. Imagine that. We try to bring content where we share our love and the things we love and talk about people we love and stories we love. And here's this little comment section full of sharing each other's hate, like feeding off each other's hate for this person or what they think. And y'all taking that and made freaking platforms of it. Like where someone just goes on YouTube and says, what's the worst thing someone did today? Not the worst mistake, like the worst part of their legacy. A bad episode, a bad decision, a bad comment that they made, and y'all just what's the word? Narrow in on it and just expand it, make it a big thing. And again, some of it is entertaining, but some of it can feed a part of me that I don't want to feed. I want to starve that. You ever heard people say, feed the soul, starve the ego? That is good enough to live a life off of. If you can live like that, I mean, you're like 25% doing better than the rest of us. But I also want to starve that part of me that helps me. You know that part of you that grabs on to things you see? You're like, oh yeah, I'm not doing as bad as that person. And at least I'm not doing what, substances anymore and abusing. And at least I'm not doing that. So now I feel a little better when I tuck myself in at night with the work I didn't do, with the fact that I didn't give it all I had, with the fact that I didn't make a sacrifice that day and not watch what I want to watch, and instead I did what I had to do. I edited that video, I posted, I reacted. Like, I don't like feeding that part of me that goes, well, look at this person. At least it ain't this bad. I starved that side. Cause it's like y'all go to these pages and y'all just let it out. I mean, you let all your hate out and your opinion and you drag people through the muck and the mud, the murky waters. And it's like, bro, this is it's too much, it's too addicting. So I know it can't be that good. I know it can't be good for me if it's easily addicting. It's easy to be like, oh, what else you got? Who else have you noticed about, and what are their flaws? Who else made a mistake recently? It's like, man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. But hey, you know when you like bash someone's like entire like way of life, like, but hey, do what's best for you. You gotta give like some encouraging word at the end, like, hey, you're just trying to make it. You're just trying to make it happen. You're just trying to make ends meet. I get it. You ain't half bad yourself. All right, get out.